name is Tami Smith, and this is my showroom, T. Smith & Company. I represent better contemporary lines here on the west coast of the United States. I've pretty much been in sales almost my whole life. I started out, when I was in high school, I worked at a very high-end shoe store on Madison Avenue. But then I thought, let me start seeing what kind of jobs are out there, and there was a job to become a commodities broker where they made me listen to the Zig Ziglar tape on sales and selling, as well as taking my Series 3. So I did that for about 2 years, but really didn't care for it, and I started to really try to look for what I might enjoy, as people always say. Look for what you love, and it won't seem like work. So I eventually ended up in the fashion industry. I did work for Betsy Eisenberg.
No kidding.
Showroom 1011.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
She was my first start in the industry, and after working for her for about 2 years, then I started my own showroom. It was on the 10th floor. It's so funny, and I'm right back here on the 10th floor again, and so it's kind of a full circle.
How did you get more inspired into going the sales route versus like being a manufacturer, or being in any other part of the industry?
Well, I was a manufacturer. I had my own line for 10 years.
No kidding.
My line was just called THS, and when I look back, I see certain mistakes I made, but I had a very successful line. I really enjoyed that in the sense that I had full control of everything, from the design, everything. And I know what it takes being on this side of it, hearing what stores get upset with, what not to do and to do. So I just think I feel like that's really what I should do, but I'm just not ready yet to do that again.
How do you feel the future of the showroom is headed? Do you think you're always going to carry one kind of collection, or do you leave the world open?
Well, I used to be known as the Dress Showroom, and the world has really changed. My showroom has changed in the sense that I'm doing a little bit more casual wear, more separates. I'm not just dresses anymore. So that change I've made. My price points are not really as high as they used to be because, of course, the world has changed. You have to have so many components. You have to have the proper website, and you have to have those proper photos, and you have to ship it on time. And there's just so many little components that if you don't do all of those, the company's going to fail. And I can't get over when I have lines that come to me and they'll only do a couple of photos, or they don't think the photo shoot is as important. And it is the most important marketing tool for a sales rep, because without those photos, you can't get your foot in the door. And if those photos are amazing, a buyer's going to go, yeah, you know what, I want to see the line. But if you don't have that, then it's really difficult to help market and promote that line.
What if the buyer's been buying differently now as maybe they were when you first started selling product?
Well, it definitely has changed. Buyers would come in and you could put almost anything in front of them. They'd be like, yep, I'll get it. Yep, I'll get it. Now they're a lot more cautious. A lot of buyers now are just filling in their store. They're not really doing these huge buys, and I find that buyers are now buying closer to delivery than they have ever before. Perfect example was at the project show. Usually I come back with 50% of my orders are for immediate summer goods, 50% are for fall goods. This time I think the ratio was a little bit more 70% immediate goods, 30% fall goods.
Wow.
So yeah, I think people are afraid to buy too far out.
Have you seen buyers start to ask where things are made, or get really more involved with the technical aspect of
I wish they were a little more concerned about American-made lines, which are really great companies. They have a 40,000 square foot facility. They make everything here in the USA.
Wow.
Any print you see, they design themselves.
Oh, that's great.
It has really been a fantastic line. I recently introduced another really great line to my showroom, and not only do they do quality product, but for the fall collection, there's about 60 different styles. With their line, if you buy 15 styles, then they will take back whatever you don't sell at the end of the season, no questions asked. And as far as I'm concerned, that is a win-win situation, because then a store doesn't have to get stuck with certain things, or I couldn't sell it. They don't have to worry about that. And if they don't want to go forward with the line, they don't have to. They will cut them a check and don't have to write the line again, or they can parlay it into the next delivery. As a sales rep, I was a little concerned, like, oh my gosh, how many returns? Am I going to make any money? So I started asking all the other sales reps prior to taking the line on, and I said, well, how many returns do you get? And the consensus was that we hardly get any returns.
That's great.
So it's a great line in that regard too.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, too cool.
Prior to moving here to the new Mart, I asked every single one of my buyers, I said, which building do you like the best? and buyer after buyer would say, the new Mart, the new Mart, the new Mart. And so that was one of the main reasons I moved here.
I love that.
Yeah.
Like word of mouth marketing at its best. You
Absolutely.
know, they say it still counts for 70% of what we know is by word of mouth.
Yeah.
So it's people connection.
For sure.